Welcome to Factorio Masterclass. My name is Nilaus, and I don't think this series requires any more introduction by now. We're going to start a new mini-series within the Factorio Masterclass. We have already covered the science build for sort of a starter base, the 1.5 science per second, but well, we're going to build much bigger in the series. So we're going to go through all of the sciences and build modular designs for sort of an endgame Megabase build. These masterclasses are always inspired by feedback from the community. This could be in the comment section here on YouTube, on Discord, or during my live streams. And yes, I am live streaming over at Twitch TV/Nilaus, and I'm live most days at 8 p.m. Central European Time, playing Factorio Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. You're very welcome to drop by. So here we are in the game, and I am going to do all of these sciences, but obviously I can't do all of them in the late game build during one episode. So I'm going to set some principles for what I'm going to do as we build the first one. The first one is obviously going to be the automation science, or more commonly red science. And the principles that I'm going to design for is that I want to make sure that we have a design that looks like this. It has to have modules on either side in a straight line, no gaps, and it has to be tileable so that you can build multiple of these to however big your base wants. And oops, not that one, undo. And the last part is that the output of each design must be half a belt of the science. And half a belt of the science, and that's of course half a blue belt. That means 22.5 times 60 seconds. It gives us a science output of 1350. So if you want to build a megabase, of the sense that you can say it's more than 1000 science per minute, which is technically only a kilobase, but okay, then you can use all of these designs. The design principle, well, if I compare it to the previous builds, the previous science builds were designed to be built on a bus, so that you have things coming in and the output go out on the same side that they come in. These builds are designed for trains, so that you have trains coming in on one side and the output going out on the other side. Those will be sort of my principles that I will design for. And let's just take a look at how that's going to pan out for our beautiful little red science. So all of these builds will be what is called an 8 beacon build. You can build 8 beacon. That means each machine here, each assembler is affected by 8 beacons. You cannot see it. I wish they would highlight all of these. Like this one highlights the assemblers, then I should do that, and then it should highlight the beacons that are affecting it. That would be nice. But it's gone. There, these are the ones that affect. So you can also build a 12 beacon setup that looks like this. But that's not what I'm doing, because that doesn't quite do the same here. It uses a stupid amount more beacons, but it doesn't really allow us to do some tileable designs to the very same extent. So the intention is, we're going to build this, and the first thing we want to do, this is the way I always do designs, I'm trying to figure out the number of machines. So I'm going to use my max rate calculator, take a look at this one, and say this is 1.5. All right, so let's get a few more of these, and then see how that goes here. I mean, you could do calculations and stuff, but I could also just do this and go 20. All right. 21.5. Okay. 23. Okay. Let's take some of this out and then see if that still pans out here. If that's close. It has to be above 22.5, but as little above 22.5 as possible. So I think we got it. I can't take any more out if I do that one. I think it'll drop below 22.4. Yep, it doesn't work. So this is going to be the design. These are the numbers that we want. And now we just need to figure out, we're going to do again, max rate calculator, and say if I want to provide this one, I'm going to need 16. Actually, you can see here, this is slightly overbuilt. And so it's not actually 16.25. It is slightly less than 16.25. It's 16.07. 16.075, I think. We can actually just do that. Basically, we do 22.5 output and then divided by the productivity. That's, yeah, 16.07 something. So let's take a look at the next thing and just see if we can build this. Is it possible for us to build one assembler here that makes all of the outputs we need? So 15.4, that's not really enough, but we can just throw in another beacon right there. And then we look again. 17 point something, looking good. So one beacon less. I'm not gonna do stuff like this. That's just too silly for me. Oops. Yeah. Okay. I can't redo when I undo. So you have to rebuild it again. There you go. Okay. So this one is actually close enough, and now the design is, well, I'm gonna take. This is so simple, and we're gonna start with the simple one because, well, it's Christmas, so I want to get off to my Christmas dinner. Well, that's the true reason. You can also argue that you gotta start with something simple and then work up from there. So this one is the outbound belt going all the way up here. And then I need some inputs and outputs. This one's going to go out. And I'm going to take input, output, output, stuff like this. Oops. I'm just copying here. Yeah. I don't even know why I did that, because obviously it's going to be the closest one. And yeah, aside from this, that's actually not the case. No, actually we're going to leave it like this. We'll discover that as we go along. So this one is outputting on the outside belt, so I need on the inside belt to get the copper in. That means down here we're going to get some copper. And usually the way I do it, and when you find something new, you get really excited, or I get really excited, because I've been around in this game for so long and done so many things that when you find something new, then it just feels really good. So this one, for example, is how I would normally do it. Here, that goes in all the way up. I know I'm missing modules and such. And that one. But actually, there's a way cooler way, because this is incredibly unbalanced. You can see here. It only takes from one side. So what I could do is actually use a broken balancer. There. Let's get that as close as possible. Yeah. And that one. Look at this. Normally the balancer would also include this belt. But if I do it like this, it actually balances the inputs from both sides, but it only outputs on one side, and then it goes in. I love that. That's such a nice little addition here. All right, what we need now is we need to take this out. And the next thing we want to do is add sort of the details, and the details being we need to make sure that we add some power poles. We're going to go with, if at all possible, we're going to go with substations for these builds, because they reach both sides. How did that not miss? Oh, right, I misbuilt it here. Yep. That one. And don't you worry, there's actually a cool trick here at the end that you don't know about yet, so don't you dare think that we are almost done. And let's put some lights in here. That's always good. Always need lights. And is this done? Well, it actually almost is done, but there is one more trick, because I have come up with another new design that I'm actually super happy about, and I'm going to show you that. And it's a great way to sort of measure things, and it also has a quiz for you. So that's something new. But before we move further, let me just take that one moment that I always do to thank the patrons who are supporting the channel. And you might think that this is tedious that I always do it in my videos, but at least I'm not pushing any fake products. I'm thanking the people in the community who are supporting me, who are making it possible for me to continue to do this thing for you on a full-time basis. So thank you very much to all the patrons who are supporting. There's of course no obligation. If you want to support, there is a link in the description below, but as I said, no obligations whatsoever. Let's get back to the design. Now, when we build a design like this and it's designed to output exactly one full belt, there's always going to be like a question, like, is it though? is it? So what I've done and is I'm going to show you here. I've now built a design. That one. There. Okay, that's actually perfect. I'm going to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the input on the belt. Here. That is reading 20 segments. 40, 60, 80, and 100 segments. Here. That one. Because there, when you saw it, I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I saw a gap on the belt, and we want to check if there are gaps on the belt. So we can do this, and then just take it out here. So now I can move all of these together. Now I'm monitoring 100 belts here. Let's put that here, and we're going to take it in here, and then I will see when it all the way goes through, and then we can see if there are gaps. See, there are gaps here, and that will make it. So what I want to do now, this here, this is now should be 400 if it's full, and it's not 400. So with this design, although it's theoretically outputting the correct amount, it is not actually outputting the correct amount, and that's a great way to debug it by doing this. But it gets better than this because, and this here comes the tests. Why do I have such crap in my inventory? There. Here comes the weird thing that I want you to answer, and then you can let me know in the comment section below if you get the answer. So what I need to do is I take whatever input I have and put it as output. I'm going to multiply it by a magic ratio. The magic ratio is called 3 squared divided by 4 squared. So I'm multiplying it by 3 squared. No, that is not correct. So I'm multiplying it by 3 squared, 9, divided by 4 squared, 16. And then what we have in here, the top level is actually, should be 22.5, but it's then multiplied by 10, 222. And that is definitely not 225, which is exactly what I want. I want this to be 225 because that is 10 times what I have on a belt. So that is here. So let me know in the comment section below if you can figure out why that ratio is the one. See, hey, it's looking good. Looking good. It's 225. So somehow it's stabilized by just looking at it. Except now it's not, because now there's a little gap in here. So we can use this feature here just to check, because if it runs through 100 belts, then it's probably absorbing some errors much easier than if you just look at the belt and go like, oh, there was a little gap. So you can also do it if you don't have full belts and you want to check if the ratio is good. This is what I do in my Let's Play reverse Megabase. And yeah, so this one, what I need to do instead is actually make some small adjustment to this one and that one. Okay, that's not the kind of small adjustment I wanted to make. I want to make it like this. Because what happens is that the last one, if there's a gap, it swings, and then it takes, as you can see here, it can take up to 12 at a time. And when it swings, while it's mid-swing, another gap can come by. So even though it can produce a nice amount, then because of the swing timer, the gaps will move on. And in this case, now I have much more granularity. They only output 3 at a time, but there are now 2 inserters stuck here trying to output. So when you see one of them swings, the other one can still catch any breaks that move through. And just simply having, yep, there you go. You saw that one. That would have been a gap when the second one swung. And now we can go here. This is rock steady at 22.5. And that is exactly what we want. And that's going to be how we test everything. If we want to make absolutely sure that we are getting the correct outbound, then I would recommend doing this one here. So this series will obviously continue with more builds, and we're just going to start with this easy one here for red science. We got everything we need. And if you want to make, this is now 1350 signs per minute. And if you want more, you just simply spam down more, and then it's your problem to figure out how to get the materials inbound. But maybe we'll cover that some other time. So that brings us to the end. And if you are enjoying these kind of tutorials, then be sure to hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section below if you have additions, ideas, comments, feedback, mistakes, or anything to that effect. I read all of the comments. I may not respond to all of them. And if you want to hang out or just be more engaged with the community, then I am streaming live on Twitch. This is most evenings at 8 p.m. Central European Time. And the address is twitch.tv/Nilaus. And it'd be awesome to see you there. A lot of people come in watching these tutorials and then find their way to Twitch. And then, yeah, come hang out because it's a great community. So thank you very much for watching. And instead of the usual stay effective, we'll go with a Merry Christmas and maybe also a stay effective during Christmas. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and stay effective.